Welcome everybody to the WPC Dota 2 coverage for tonight. We've got DK versus IG, plenty of other good games.
Pretty good match.
Yeah, not bad. The Chinese El Clasico.
It's okay.
Yeah. LD's like, it was enough to get me out of bed. As well as put on a nice shirt. We've got some actual shirts on today.
Yeah, I mean, are these... Obviously, DK, we know what they're capable of when they're focused, when they're 100% serious.
Yeah.
They've been dropping some games that they
won
shouldn't be.
Star Ladder, so
right.
they're just like...
Well, this is not the land finals of WPC, right? So
No.
do we get DK on their A game, A, and B, IG?
Whoa.
They're kind of a mess right now.
It's funny we're talking about DK and IG as like two struggling teams in China. Like they just got first and fourth
true,
place.
though.
They got first and fourth place at Star Ladder. They're
No,
fine.
obviously when it really
Yeah.
matters, they're going to deliver, but for a random group stage match, like, let's see, are they going to be on their A game? I hate to be a hater, but...
Well, we
Just
got the David and David back. Are we on our A game? Is that are we up to the challenge of casting DK versus IG?
Well, I've got some wings here, so...
Oh my God, we're really on our A game today, aren't we? So
Indeed.
on that note, let's get ourselves in the game. DK versus IG draft underway, and some pretty interesting picks. We're playing on 6.81, so the teams are going to be like, well, what's going on here? And right off the bat, IG pull out the big old Abaddon.
So I've been casting Summit Europe.
Yeah.
I've watched a few of the WPC/Summit Asia games. How are these teams playing on the patch? Have you seen them?
I haven't seen DK or IG play. I've seen some of the other Chinese teams play, which has been, it feels more like 6.80B rather than 6.81. Like there hasn't been any changes to most of the teams drafted.
That's kind of how I feel this patch is in general. I mean, obviously it changes some stuff, and some of it will be significant. Maybe there's details like still to be figured out, but my overall reaction is this is not an earth-shattering patch by any means.
Did they fix the Abaddon bug?
Yes, that was result.
Okay.
There was like, so we had like a 2.5 hour day in the Summit Europe, and there was like 5 mini patches before they finally got it right.
Gotcha.
So I'm pretty sure that was fixed.
This is like a just constant stream of like new bugs showing up that have to be like hot fixed. But that's like every big
Chat's
patch.
going ham about the Abaddon right now. Relax, guys.
ID abusers.
I'm quite sure it's fixed. I will double check though.
Yeah. Okay. You're in charge of the Merlini Police Patrol today.
Yeah, well, Merlini's off streaming, so the police are having some coffee and donuts and not doing their job right now. We'll see.
That's what we've got. You can go rogue. You can be Batman today, LD.
Okay.
That's what we're wearing black for.
So,
Tide Hunter.
Another Tide pick.
Okay.
I've seen a slight increase in Tides in Europe, and I gotta say,
especially on the dire side, it's pretty good. You got the easy access to stack your ancients and
That's true.
farm those.
I mean, my thing is, I just feel like in most situations, Tide is just a very poor man's version of Centaur. Like, yeah, he's got a much more reliable AoE stun, but it's on a huge cooldown. Centaur has more burst damage. Centaur scales better with farm. And Centaur has a very low cooldown combo. Yeah, it's got much smaller AoE, but generally you've got a blink or something to set him up. In this case, they have Bane, so... This particular game, Centaur was banned, but...
Yeah, it was like straight up first ban too. IG weren't having any of that. So.
Oh, their overlay is weird.
Yeah,
Okay,
they do it from bottom to top. It's back. The Radiant bands are backwards. The Dire bands are top to bottom.
Okay, so it was a first stage ban,
Yeah.
which I think is quite mandatory against DK.
Yeah.
So I do like that ban.
Enchantress, Daxi, the next bands from IG, Lifestealer, and Dazzle were banned out by DK. This is like IG worried about DK worried about IG going for like a Go Black type draft with the like Dazzle, Abaddon, Lifestealer not so much, but they go Rubik instead. So Warrior's Batrider has been one of his better heroes, and that's probably good that they put him one of his stronger heroes because he has not been playing all that well over the last couple of months.
Yeah, at Starladder Season 8 or Season 9 Land Finals, I would say the same thing. When he was on Bat, he was actually quite spectacular, and when he was not on Bat, he was very underwhelming. I actually think his Prophet has been the most disappointing pick for the team. There was a period where they were running it like 30% of games played, he would be on Prophet, and every time I saw it, it was very underwhelming. So I don't know if it's just not fitting into the team strategy well. There was also one time where he got solo killed by Funix Puck, I believe it was, at Starladder.
As a Prophet?
Yeah, which
Oh,
should
man.
never happen. I mean, you just carry a TP scroll. If he tries to go on you, he's got to use coil. You just start with teleport. As soon as he coils you, just TP out. So
Yeah.
I don't you shouldn't die in that matchup, but he just kind of panicked. And let's see if YYF's back on his A game here. He should be on Bat though.
IG played well yesterday against Titan. They got a good 2-0 there, and Luo especially played 2 really solid games. He was doing all kinds of crazy shit on Weaver. Like it was like TPing really early to fights and just coming and playing like super aggressive. Like it was like a Havos style Weaver where it was just like going to any fight that presented itself, even leaving. He was like he started off safe lane solo, and the bottom lane where he was on the Radiant safe lane was empty from like the 8-minute mark to the 15-minute mark with only a single hero farming down there. It was like just this really weird, crazy game where Luo created.
Luo's the wild card. You never know what this guy's gonna do. Like,
he has amazing games, but then he has like those kind of questionable games. So I think end of the day, he's been more consistent than YYF. And even I would say had been more solid than Faith at times over the last few months. So he didn't have the best style ladder, but
he had the one really bad game at Star Ladder.
Yeah.
People are not going to let that go
thing.
until he delivers in an equally big game.
Yeah. And I mean, maybe this is it. DK versus IG. It is on WPC LAN. WPC Studio was packed out for once. Normally they don't even show the camera shot.
Yeah, when
like,
it's Hearts Get Together versus any or something along those
even
lines.
Like a big name, if it's like a big name team versus like a lesser known team, it's like normally like okay, not that many people showing up, but there were people out like with their DK. I don't know, their DK sticks and all kinds of stuff.
Some people say we're not on Dota TV. I'm not sure if it's just lagging or if we have not turned it on.
It may not be on. This is oh god.
This new. Oh.
All right, we're not on. We're on now.
Okay, guys, we have turned on the Dota TV, though I warn you, it is Perfect World. We are in LA, so don't be surprised if it's not very good, but we do apologize for not having the audio from the start. Hopefully should be fixed now. Fire gods.
Yeah, fire gods. All right, look, I can edit all my stuff before we get in game, making sure I think I've got everything right.
Okay, you ready to cast yet, buddy?
I'm getting close. So Slack being picked up by DK.
It's been a while since I got to rag on you.
I'm just saying I'm gonna ignore you. Do you want? Oh, you want to be feisty? I'll be feisty back, LD.
Slark, interesting.
Slack, Marana. Whoa, picnic. Let's go in game.
Yeah, Chinese stream going full picnic mode.
And XSplit's going full picnic mode. XSplit does this. It'll catch up in a second.
Don't touch too many buttons.
Hands are off the wheel, LD. There we go.
By the way, move that beyond the summit logo. It's driving me insane. That's where heroes quick buys are.
Who uses quick buys?
If you click on a hero, or not quick buy, sorry, their inventory.
Okay.
I was getting really annoyed when I was watching.
Where do you want me to put it, LD?
Put it to the left of the hero portraits.
Okay. Well,
once we get in game,
I'll move.
I actually messaged you about this, but you were busy and never got around.
I liked it there. I don't know.
It just looks unbalanced as well.
Okay. Sorry. Last pick Morphling for Rattlesnake. So Luo not often playing Morphling.
For Rattlesnake? Oh no, you're pulling an LD here.
Yeah, I was doing this yesterday.
We were talking about this. This is a cool feature, I think, how players can like have a Smurf name, but then when they go into the lobby, it's their real name. But everyone's got to update their profiles and get on the teams in Dota 2.
It's created more problems than it's fixed.
Yeah, definitely in the short term it has. Yeah. Do we have in-game sound, by the way?
Yeah, we will in a second.
Okay.
I was just waiting till the draft was over because otherwise you hear the hero noise before the hero is actually picked. And then everyone picnics. Oh my gosh. Are we perfect worlding it up?
Are we?
Uh-oh. I'm perfect worlding it up.
Mine's okay so far.
Yeah, yeah, yours is okay so far.
Unfortunately, in this studio, we can't switch perspectives too easily.
Oh no. We've gone full perfect.
I'll just give you the radio cast for now. IG moving through the DK jungle. They're going aggressive here, trying to drop down some wards. Faith on the Rubik. Well, they'll make their way up the hill, then they go back down. They'll leave an observer ward that gives them some decent vision. You might want to try reconnecting, although I don't know if it doesn't
normally fix. When you
it's so arbitrary, man. I don't get it. Like you could, the same PC will be fine one game, then lag the next. It is.
Well, it's the thing we had downstairs where the first time it happened, it was on Ben's PC, and then mine was fine the whole day, and then the next day it was mine. So.
Yeah, I don't know. The Star Ladder caster's having the same issue as you see them. Disconnecting, reconnecting, praying to Ice Frog and all the Dota gods. But yeah, IG did go aggressive into the enemy jungle. They dropped down a pretty nice observer ward. This one is very difficult to deward and gives you quite a bit of vision of the enemy support. So if you don't see anyone in this region, generally you know that they're off the lane. They might be smoke ganking. So I like this ward quite a bit. Seen it a few times in Europe lately, but still waiting for you to reconnect, I suppose. Bernie will find a haster and top off the bat and has skilled up arrow level 1. We'll go through the players as soon as you get in the game, but he will be playing the safe lane Marana. Looks like IG are going for an offensive dual lane with Chuan on the Abaddon and YYF handling the Batrider. So, Batrider dual lane actually pretty strong though, because like how are they ever going to kill this lane unless they catch the Abaddon? Just sits behind the Batrider and, well, you get slept arrowed, you just shield him and he's fine.
Yeah. Alright, man, reconnecting actually helping it, at least for now. I shouldn't be saying that too early.
You've already jinxed it.
It's okay.
I'm knocking on wood frantically. Okay, let's run through our teams here.
Yep.
On the Radiant side, we've got IG, YYF playing the Bat Rider, Chuan in the dual lane with him as the Abaddon. Not something you see at all, really, from the Chinese teams. 430 on the Dragon Knight solo mid, and then the safe lane, Luo, the Morph lane, and Faith will be playing the Rubik.
Well, on the Dire side, it's Team DK, your style out of champions. It's going to be Ice on the off lane, Titan, solo mid, Mushi playing Slark, a hero not really known for. I haven't seen him on too often, but we'll see how he does there. Lamb going to be playing the jungle Chen. Got XMMY playing the Bane, and then finally Burning. Where are you at, Burning?
Burning going ham. He casually hit an arrow. YYF under tower, was harassing him a lot, but then tanks like 4 tower shots. That was not necessary.
He's pretty stacked on HP regen with lots of tangos in the south, so I guess he's thinking he can make those trades. But yeah, that was really pushing the limit.
Well, I guess the main question is how effective will these dual lanes be from IG? That's not going to die here, but will he get enough out of the lane to justify running the dual lane?
Yeah, I think it's okay for the moment. Like it's going to help the Bat Rider just contest the farm a lot. I guess but Burning Mirana is not a hero that needs to get complete free farm. It's not like you're slowing down a Spectre or an Anti-Mage.
Right.
So, it's going to be annoying more than anything, and I think it's just going to guarantee that YYF can get a fairly good time in the split.
Well, top lane, Burning's harassing. They really want to catch Chuan here. Chuan's the one they can kill if they catch him out. YYF, much more difficult with the Aphotic Shield.
YYF's the shield, though. He's the one like actually standing in the front. Chuan, you're not going to get to Chuan without going through YYF.
So, as for DK, they do go for the big pull here. Of course, IG have, as mentioned, really good vision of this from this particular Observer Ward, but now that Chen's just going to head into the enemy jungle. Is there anywhere he can get a kill? Dragon Knight, I think he could potentially kill mid with the right creeps, and
Rubik at bottom's a very killable target as well.
That's the easiest kill.
Yeah.
I definitely agree.
I think that's partly why he went into this other jungle, so that he can.
And they actually have no vision of this. They only had the one Observer Ward. They placed another one near the mid hill. That got dewarded, and in they go. This could be our first blood.
Well, he gets a lift on the Centaur. That's the big thing there. Centaur gets slowing down, but he's still slow. He dodges the Centaur stun, but he's still going to be first blood. Goes the way to the Chen. Nice gank from DK to get started there.
That was a really good movement. They dewarded this Observer Ward, and generally when the team go... Oh, top lane. Are we going to have an initiation? No, not just yet. But they dewarded this ward, and they know that IG went aggressive, and they didn't see any Observer Wards in their inventory. So they pretty much put 2 and 2 together and said, they have no vision in their own jungle or of the bottom rune. We can go aggressive, and they won't see us coming.
Yeah. It's one of those things, if you want to play a Chen or Enchantress and go ganking, you've got to find the easiest kill on the map. At the same time, like, where can you get... You want to try to get the most impact as well with the kill. So if it's a hero mid that you can gank, you'll go for the ganks mid. But if it's a mid hero who's ungankable, you find those squishy supports. And in this case, it's the Rubik.
Top lane, there will be a sleep in an arrow. Nicely
Burning.
juggled by Burning.
I'm about to say, that was...
I thought the Abaddon took it off for a second, and I was like, wait, he
no.
could just shield here. But
was...
no. Burning, please.
Burning, jumping the gun. He threw the arrow and then attacked while the arrow was mid-air, I guess?
Yes. And I will actually say Burning was magnificent on Mirana at Starladder. It was like, it looked like he had just played the combo so many times, even though I had not seen him play it much. But yeah, a little sloppy from him there.
Lamb's in the enemy jungle with not a single point of mana. Has he got a creep up? Oh yeah, he's got a creep mid. Okay, he's got the Wildwood being throwing down a tornado, so it's okay. He's out of mana. He can just bring that creep back and use it to tank it up and farm a bit later on. But for now, Lamb can't really offer too much here in the offensive jungle.
Yeah, he got the first blood, and he's doing okay for his own levels. Level 3.
Ferrari comes and just stuns the Wild Wing.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
that's good for the Slark, though.
hate,
20 and 8. It's a matchup that I would say Slark should have a slight edge in, but, you know, end of the day, Dragon Knight, just going to bottle crow, spam, breathe fire, and it should be fine.
Like a you farm, I farm, we're all happy kind of lane. At least for now.
The worst kind of lane.
The bottle crow mid lane, I don't know. But it's one of those things where it makes so many more mid heroes viable. The fact that you can bottle crow, so you can't really complain too much.
It's like it would just be nice if there's another way to make them viable that didn't involve an incredibly boring mechanic.
No.
But
you take out bottle crowing and there's like a small
it's like
5 to
Invoker,
6 hero
Queen of
fall.
Pain, you know, Puck. These types of heroes would be going mid every game. Maybe Shadow Fiend TA.
Chuan actually TP's mid, maybe anticipating a gank from the Chen towards me. Like Chen's been missing for a long time, and Chuan's decided that the Chen is probably going to be smoking the mid soon.
Last time the Chen was seen, he was in the Radiant jungle, so Tron places a hill ward here. Good ward in general to see across the river, and also good if they are in your jungle, because it'll see heroes coming from this angle as well as this angle, which are the 2 main paths to mid from the Radiant jungle. So I think a smart ward from Chuan. In truth, Lanham's back at his own jungle now, so DK just one step ahead of him.
He's made the wrong prediction, but it's still an alright place to be, because it means Ferrari, he can push across the river and actually chip away at the tower now that he's got level 6 dragon form. So DK's not going to get the tower, but he can chip away at it, knowing that he's not going to get ganked from behind and go down. Because otherwise he'd have to be playing very passively now, not pushing across the river if Chuan wasn't here.
So we didn't really talk much about overall approach to this game, but IG clearly have the superior late game. Way more burst damage, way more carry potential, probably the best initiator in the game in the Batrider, and DK more gearing up for a mid-game timing where they'll get the Chen creeps, the mech, as well as a Blink Dagger on Tide, Moonlight Shadow, and then they'll just start fighting. So we see Burning building towards drums, your Tide rushing towards the Blink, and I'm expecting DK to get very aggressive within the next 5 to 8 minutes at most.
Yeah, Ice already level 6, Batty at level 7. He's actually done amazingly well against this Morphling. Morphling 28 CS, Tide 27. And Morphling, this is not free farm Morphling. Like, he's actually been slowed down quite a bit here. No one's really free farming. Both Burning at top with the Abaddon Batrider lane and Luo in the safe lane against the Titaners. He's kind of struggled to get the free farm.
Yeah, 5-6 CS a minute is not too bad, but it's not free farm either. Not for these players.
So Ice, yeah, you say rushing the Blink now, with 1,500 gold, like that looks like it is what it's going to be doing. No mech, no arcane boots first, and
you have enough for a Blink, Gush, Ravage, and I believe one Anchor Smash, and then you're pretty much tapped out.
And the Gush is like an optional thing. Like you could just if you're blinking in Ravage with backup, you don't even really need.
You know what I saw today? Was an Orchid Rush on a Tide. He got the Oblivion Staff, like, okay, is he going Refresher? Wait, he's got Phase Boots. He didn't have Arcane Boots.
First item?
Yeah, or it was Phase Boots into Orchid. And the thing is, like, I was like, wait, he's going Refresher, but he has Phase Boots. So you don't actually have mana for your combo.
Yeah.
Like, you can't, even if you can use the double Ravage and the Refresher, if you have, like, enough levels and maybe some points and stats. But it's a very awkward build. Needless to say, this did not work out. There was no Puck or there's no Ember on the enemy team. It's just a weird build, but yeah. I don't think we'll see an Orchid Rush this game. I'm expecting.
Watch Ice pick up like a Midas or something, just throw us all off. This will be like an 8-minute Tide Midas, and it'll just carry the game.
Yeah. Well, I saw the Phase Bits, I'm like, wait, is he going carry Tide? You know, like Phase, Armlet, Drums, maybe Mask of Madness.
Speaking of Phase Boots, Morphling. What's his deal?
This is a build actually that Silent likes to go a lot from Empire, and I will say the results were impressive.
Yeah.
I generally prefer Treads, just because I think Morphling has serious mana issues. In general, bottom lane, though, we'll have it engaged.
Blink Ravage. It's only a kill on Fate. Rattlesnake's lure, IG's lure should be fine. He's going to wait for him back under his tower. Gets gashed up, though. Needs to start Morphling String. Does do so. So it's a Blink Ravage just for a Rubik.
And they forced the TP cancel. And they took the tier 1 top slightly before that, so...
Got him some space, but...
Pretty big win overall, I would say, for DK there.
Yeah, not bad.
And that's your Blink as well.
Yeah, Ferrari's not going to be leaving this mid lane. He wants to just keep pressuring this, although he doesn't have his ulti at the moment. So, yeah, DK get top tower. They get a kill at bottom mid. It did rotate Mushi off the lane, so he's trying to gank and get some kills here. But at the end of the day, ganking a Rubik is not really worth it. They want Luo again in this bottom lane. They're making another play for this one. Mushi needs to hit this pounce and misses it under the tower, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's if he hits that, they probably get the kill. The nice thing for DK is when they make that rotation, they put die mid. So this is one thing. Oh, top lane, Burning. Fine. Yes, solo kill on Faith. Hit the arrow and then just follows up with the double Starfall. And yeah, like I said, Burning was going hard at Starladder. He was hitting some impressive arrows and didn't miss the sleeper disruption timings once. But I think Burning's woken up a bit and DK looking good.
Yeah, Luo going to get scattered out. We'll scatter up Mushi here in the jungle. Mushi says, okay, don't want any of that. He's going to dark back this neutral camp, and Luo's going to be unable to farm here. So Tide just takes the free farm in the lane. Mushi just going to keep on pressuring this bottom lane. Like, even if he's not getting these kills, he's preventing Luo from getting any sort of farm. And that's where IG say, okay, we need to create space. We've got to start pressuring this mid lane, force Mushi to come to us, to come defend this mid tower, so Luo can actually get farm.
They also know Ravage is on cooldown, and this is a good time to put a little pressure on the map. That being said, though, Mushi's coming in. They get the Fiend's Grip up. 430, dropping pretty fast. The Aphotic Shield was already used. There's nothing to keep him alive here. And
that was so nice from Mama. Yeah, he used the shield to get rid of the Nightmare, and then as soon as that happened, he Fiend's Gripped up, and there was no shield. It was so nicely played. That was a really big play from the Bane.
They may have thought Murano was coming with an arrow, but in fact, Burning wasn't there. So they, in hindsight being 2020, they should have saved the shield, but easy for us to save.
Ice just keeps like blinking on Morphling and just right-clicking him once or twice to scare him out of the lane.
Zero mana cost Blink Dagger, man. Yeah. It's OP.
He's spamming it just to harass with right clicks right now, and uh-oh, Luo, you're in some trouble at bottom lane, perhaps? Nope. Smoke rotation, not going to find him just yet. It's Burning rotating in for this one as well. They're looking for a Nightmare Arrow to set up a kill on Luo.
They do have a Blink Dagger on Bat, but I'm just looking at DK. Can Bat actually jump onto this lineup very easily? He's jumping into mech in about 500 gold, 450 gold, and also heroes like Mirana that are pretty elusive, Slarkez as well, and Bane can just sleep him or grip him when he jumps in, so the Bat Blink. Oh, here we go. Blink Ravage mid by Ice Ice connects on 3, then the follow-up Start Ball. IG just on the full scale retreat. YYF comes with the lasso, but there's no damage for this. The arrow barely, oh, it will connect on Chuan in the end, barely dodged by YYF. Mushi from the backside looking to cause problems for IG here. They'll clean up too. They're looking for more. 430 should be next. Tries to breathe fire down Burning. One more auto attack from the tower. Will it be enough? No, it's not. He sticks up in time, and DK pick up 3 big kills.
Oh man, this game is getting quickly out of hand for DK. 7 kills unanswered. You think normally like you can actually take these mid-game fights, you get a Bat Rider Blink Dagger, you've got an Abaddon to deal with the stuns, but DK just keep on coming at you, and that was such a nice initiation from Ice 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 with the Blink Ravage.
This is why you go Blink first on Tide. The Tide that I saw earlier today went Phase Boots first, and there were multiple times where the enemy team just walked out of Ravage. Ravage travel time, or travel, it spreads outwards from Tide, and the travel speed got reduced a few patches ago. I think it was like 6 to 9 months ago, so if you don't have Blink, they can somewhat react, maybe morphling waveforms away, but yeah, with the Blink, it's all gravy here for DK.
9G going to try and get some more towers here. They took down the tier 1 mid, they want the bottom tier 1 as well, but doing so not going to be easy by any means.
That's really their best play, is just fighting when Ravage is down, though. Siege some tower, split push a bit. When Ravage is up, you do not want to be taking big fights. They can go for some lasso pickoffs now as well, but I feel like their main objective should be play around the Ravage cooldown. When it's up, they just should not be fighting.
Yeah, YYF with his Blink Dagger on the side here. Tide going to blink in. This is just for an Anchor's match. He's actually got no Ravage for 50 seconds here. Mushi invis now. They've used the Moonlight Shadow. They want to try and find an opening to go in on this.
Where's the detection? They need to back off.
Oh, they don't want to go on YYF here. Chuan going to be the one that maybe... Chuan's even level 6. You get on Chuan, it's a disaster.
Well, Mushi's moving around invis. There's no sentries for IG. Are they sending some out now? Yeah, they are. They've realized they need some, but Mushi may find a kill on Faith. If Chuan leaves him, Faith is dead.
Yeah, there we go. He starts to work. Get some right clicks off Dark Factors there. There's going to need some heals here. Almost bursts out Faith, but just surviving here. Chuan going to be the next one to TP out. It's just 1-by-1 TPs.
That's the tower bottom. They can't defend it now.
At least the tier 1. I think DK almost can just go for the tier 2. They'll have Ravage up. It's 10 seconds away, and Ice 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 has more than enough mana to sustain this. So
one of the things we saw when Tide was a really popular pick was the threat of a Ravage was often more powerful than the actual Ravage, meaning you group up as 5 and you go for a tier 1, they're like, okay, we don't want to fight that. Let's give it up. Then you group up, you go for another tier 1, they're like, well, they still got Ravage, we shouldn't fight this. And before you know it, you've lost 3-4 towers and they've never even had to use a Ravage. Then if you do show up and you lose a fight, then you're like, oh, crap. So, yeah, I think DK, like you said, just keep on deathcalling, take towers. You've itemized for mid-game. You've picked heroes for mid-game. This is when you're strongest.
Yeah. With the mech plus hand of like, oh, Ferrari. Oh, he's been caught out. The Ravage can be used as well, just for the solo kill. That's well worth it. It does mean that IG now have a small little window where they can try pressure towers and take some fights without Ravage, but DK is so far ahead on items with drums up on Slark, with the Chen with the mech that IG can't teamfight, even with Ravage on cooldown, and it's not like they can pressure towers as well, because DK is when he got picked off by the Ravage.
Now mid lane, there is a lasso initiation. They've pulled in Lanham, but a nice troll trap from Lanham. Still gets pulled back up. He's got a Hand of God available. He'll pop it now, and in comes Mushi, looking for the pickoffs. The turnaround might be here. Finds YYF, leaps in. Can he bring him down in time? Has the ultimate. He'll get the kill. Well, in the end, a 1-for-1 in the mid lane.
He's going to get the hell out of there with the Shadow Dance. He's hit level 11 now as well, so...
Burning's coming in as well.
Arrow off the mark.
Good pressure from DK, though. Yeah, they lose the Chen there. That's not ideal. They want to be pushing with the mech and Ravage, but since Ravage is down, they at least get a 1-for-1 trade, and mostly just keep IG bottled up. For IG, key objectives, get a BKB on DK, I would say right now, and just stall the game. That's the hardest thing for them to do. They don't really have much counter push, and their split push is... it's okay. It's not great.
They'd love a Bat Rider 4-staff as well. Like, that's going to help them when they get
that's actually probably the biggest item of all, but... well, he's got
even just getting level 6 on Chuan, he's going to hit it now. So they're already there, but not having Chuan level 6 makes it a lot harder to fight, because he can get jumped on. Like, in the start of a fight, you just go on the Abaddon, and without having an ultimate, he's just instantly dead. The reason Abaddon's such a strong support is that you can't... the only support in the game, you can't focus at the start of a fight with a lot of spells.
Yeah, unless you have Doom, but then even then you have to blow Doom on a support, which is generally not ideal. So, well, there's 3 heroes grouped up top. Ice, Ravage is cooling down. Should be building towards the pipe here. Picks up an early reign of health, and that really tips the game plan. Opens DK's hand up. If it wasn't already apparent, is they just want a death ball at towers. Score's 9-1. They lead right now by about 7,500 gold, as well as 10,000 experience. But here comes the fight. No Ravage yet. Ravage in 30 seconds. Blink in and lasso. They'll pull in Mushi to start this one off. Wave over the top. The Flame Break gets the kill. Great initiation, but from the backside comes Bernie. Looks for YYF. Aphotic Shield, not enough. Faith can't stay alive. Now Burning, forced to run away. A Fiend's Grip by Die. There's nothing to cancel this right now. Where's that Dragon Tail? Still cooling down. Well, it won't matter.
Sent home.
Oh, so close.
No.
Still, this works out well for IG with Ravage on cooldown. DK could not really do much to punish them.
It works out well, but they still lost the fight. Like, they're going to get a tower off of it, but that team fight was a lost team fight. When
and now it's going to be worse. Blink in, Ravage as well. Luo, he will replicate out.
Not going to land, unfortunately, but...
Sleep, nicely dodged by the Aphotic Shield. Now the TP outs will come. There's not a whole lot to cancel this. In fact, there's nothing. They still kill Chuan. His corpse hits the deck at the well on the IG logo. Insult to injury.
That's not pretty. DK, they keep their T1 alive as well. So
it's 2 for 1, and if IG gets, or 1 for 2, and IG gets a tower, and they kill off Mushi, that would have been worth it. But now 3 for 1. In DK's favor, and they don't get the tower, not worth it at all.
Yeah, once that Ravage comes back up, it makes it DK just re-engage again. And these fights are dragging out long enough that even when Ravage is on cooldown at the start of a fight, it often comes back up by the end of it. So, Batrider trying to sneak past and cancel the TP there.
And here comes the medallion. Roche is in the books. They can just forfeit this tier 1 and take Roche. That's a good play from DK. This is the one thing that I thought should have been nerfed a bit in this patch, was just medallion as an item in general. Sub-1,000 gold item that basically secures Roche, and I would say at like 70% of games that you get it.
It just becomes such a bad item if you can't use on Roche. There's like no situation where you want medallion but you can't use on Roche though.
Right, I think that's even more of an argument for some change to the item, because it's like, it's just like broken on Dire and kind of underwhelming otherwise. Well, there you go. There's your Roche. The one armor change on Roche as well. It's like, it sounds nice on paper, but then you've got this minus, what is it, -7, I believe? Or -6?
6, I think?
-6 on Medallion. Yeah, it's -7 on Desolator, that's right. So it's still -5 on Roche, even with the new change.
It helps, it definitely helps make you Roshan faster, but like, they could still have Roche there without the medallion. I don't know what the time comparison would have been, but I imagine it would have maybe added 4 to 5 seconds to kill Roche.
Yeah, something like, I'd say like closer to 8, but
yeah.
Well, IG were coming towards the pit, and Ravage was on cooldown, but DK just did it so fast. Also, this isn't a great Roche lineup, right? If you have like a TA, a Shadow Fiend, these types of heroes, then
that's why you need the medallions. When you have the bad Roche lineups, where that medallion helps you out a lot. If you've got a good Roshan lineup, it's like, well,
yeah.
What's the point? Like, you've got a TA plus Necrobooks plus a Prophet or whatever it may be. You don't need that medallion.
Okay, so DK, again, their lineup, and oh, okay, Ice 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 not going pipe. He is going Refresher Rocket. But he has Arcane Mode, so he can support it.
Batrider tried to get a lasso, but immediate full stuff out when he didn't find it.
He can't jump in on DK. Like, he's trying to bait out something. He wants them to use Ravage, but if he actually commits, like, who does he go on here?
I like this from Lure. He's just top lane, kind of applying some pressure on the other side of the map, and they can give up a tier 1. They'll start pressuring this tier 2 maybe, but they're unlikely to get it, but it's just force DK to stop this push and go back into fan.
Mushi takes the time to deward a bit, and saw that he did not have the extra move speed from Shadow Dance, knew that they had vision there.
I think they IG just give this up. Like, they haven't got the BKB on Dragon Knight, they've got Lure pressuring top.
They have to, they don't have a choice.
Waveform this Lure, there we go. Waveforms it down. He should just be, right click on this tower, get your Bastion on, and there we go. TP's coming back, and DK back off from mid. This tier 2 still full HP, so that's smart play from Lure.
Yeah, that's really IG's best play, is just split push and stall. But YYF is hunting in the jungle.
He sees him, he sees Lamb, but Mushi's there as well. And
is he gonna go on Moonlight
Shadow? So they see this and they just want to go full retreat. They don't want to go anywhere near the jungle, or at least away from their tier 2s.
Yeah, the game plan for IG's Bat for YYF is not Blink and Lasso, it's fake Blink, fake Lasso, front around and Firefly, and try and get them to waste cooldowns and stall the game.
He's more like a scout rather than an initiator.
Yeah, he really is. He might just take the lasso away. Just pretend that he doesn't have one.
Well, Burning's top lane, he's picked up a Perseverance, which is probably more for the Linken's build this game around. Against Batrider, it's pretty... Against Bat, DK, like, this is all single target spells which you want to block. DK stuns like a mini Beastmaster Roar. Batrider Lasso. Even the Morphling, if he goes for a later shotgun, you're going to be able to block a lot of that damage using the Lincoln Sphere. So it's actually a fantastic game for Lincoln.
You know, one concern I have for DK is they don't really have that much on BKB. They have Fiend Script, but they don't have much physical damage. Alpha Wolf is here, probably not going to live for long through fights. And Morphling is going Lincoln Sphere, but Dragon Knight is going BKB. Actually completed it. 430 has kept his farm up. And with a BKB, I feel like he could just run in, and they might, and if they use anything on him, Bat will just counter-initiate. So I think potentially IG can take some team fights here.
Morphling gets his Lincolns up now. Not the fastest Lincolns by any means. He hasn't died all game. He's got 114 CS, but still a decent-ish time on the Lincolns. And,
so they're going to let this tower go, it looks like.
They're not in a position, they just can't really defend too well. The BKB is not actually picked up yet for Fry, so he's still seeing it base.
And also his ult just ended. That's a bit of a concern. Will DK just breach high ground?
Yeah, unfortunately, Luo, his split push top isn't in the best spot right now. He's not even pressuring that tier 2. Like last time DK went for this push,
yeah, he was
Luo was right on the tier 2. This time around, he's nowhere near it.
Ice in the front lines. Lanham way back position. The mech is on cooldown. And DK just want to force that TP back for the Morphling. But he keeps on pushing top.
So IG just happy to keep on stalling as much as possible. They just want to try and slow down the pushes, which is always hard when you don't have Glyph and you don't have this split push in the right position. But Luo has to play safe now. He sees everyone missing on the map, and until they get vision, either through wards or through Batrider scouting, he can't actually apply that split push.
You know, the style from DK reminds me a lot of how Dog are playing right now in Europe, where it's very early aggression, constant pressure, and basically you just look to snowball an early lead. Sort of like, oh, we'll see a smoke gank from IG mid. But when Dog run that strat, the opponents tend to make more mistakes. IG, I feel like, yeah, it's 12-2, but they've mostly been playing this correctly, at least for the past 15 minutes. And, well, will the lack of mistakes from IG as we head towards the mid-game hurt DK too much? Because their late game really isn't the best. They're all these mid-game items, too.
Yeah, and this Aegis will be expiring in about a minute, so it doesn't look like DK will be sieging the high ground at all with the Aegis timing. So they can go for another, even without Aegis, like the Aegis I don't think is that important. Like it's a slack as well, so it's not really a key component of this push.
Yeah, there's a BKB for Mushi too, so burning Lincoln Sphere coming soon, assuming he wants to build it, which I imagine he does.
Their big scary timing window probably comes with the refresher on Eyesight Size, because that's where they can go high ground, and there's like almost no way IG can really fight too well against it.
Yeah, how are you not going to get caught by double Ravage?
I wonder if Luo just goes like the super defensive build of Lincoln's BKB here. Like it sounds pretty underwhelming and like you won't have much damage, but just staying alive is going to be the important thing, because DK, they don't have much damage over a long fight. Like, that's not really their expertise. They want to blow people up in the
their burst damage, exactly. They're built around the double Ravage, the Fiend Script, the Sleep and Arrow. That's pretty much their bread and butter.
So maybe you just go BKB.
BKB is not bad. The only thing is it doesn't help him split push. And if they're trying to stall the game, then BKB isn't going to do much there.
YYF wants to get a BKB as fast as possible. We actually picked up an Ogre Club, I think, and then sold it to get, but I realized they want a gem as well, so far, DK's had great map control.
These supports are dirt poor. Bracer on the Rubik, Chuan with a smoke and a magic wand and boots. Like that's just atrocious farm. And so YWF doesn't have a choice. He's got to be the one to buy the gem.
Picks up some headdress. You get the value Tranquil boots as a support here.
I'm just looking at net worths, man. 1,600 on the Abaddon, 1,400 on the Rubik. Enemy Chen is 7,400 net worth. Enemy Bane is 5,400. That is brutal.
Sad life. I don't know if I want to look at it, but it's only a 10k gold lead. It could have been a lot worse.
It's just kind of where it's like pretty evenly distributed for DK, and it's the rich and the poor for IG.
But that's almost good news if you're IG. It means your core heroes have kept up. So in theory, you've got supports who can have high impacts in a team fight with no farm. Like you look at a hero like Abaddon, if he hits some clutch shields and stays alive using the ultimate, heals up some teammates with miscall, he can have a big impact in a fight with no items at all. And Rubik, maybe less so. Like he'd rather have a Blinker or Full Staff, because otherwise stealing any key spells is going to be tricky. But if he steals a Ravage, he's suddenly no longer a 1,500 net worth hero. He's looking at like quadruple that maybe.
Yeah, I agree. So I would say the key window right now for DK is the next Aegis. With the next Aegis, they should have the refresher, and they're looking to secure potentially the next Roshan, as they're on the move towards the enemy jungle. They've got one Ravage online. Refresher's almost done. He's got the recipe, and all he needs is the 2 remaining components of Oblivion Staff. So they get a kill or 2 here. They'll be able to take Roche most likely. They'll have the next Aegis, and they'll have the refresher. BKB on Bane should be out by then, and maybe Burning and Mushi have a small damage item each, like a Maelstrom or something, or Crystallis or Basher or something. So that'll be the key window. If they don't do much with the next Aegis, then I think this game starts to tilt in IG's direction.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
What DK can do. They, I think, a good job trying to keep up the map control, but I really like this Baron gem pickup. It's helped de-ward a lot of the aggressive wards that DK had down earlier. I can see DK right now just be one ward up in the enemy jungle. They had a lot more earlier on, which had been denied by YYF.
Yeah, Gem is so under. I think Gem is just never. Even with the cost increase, it's still just a ridiculous item.
It's, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say if it's OP, but it's essential. Every single game,
yeah,
you should be buying a gem on your team, even if there's no enemy invis heroes. It's worth the cost to buy a gem.
Yeah, Gem to me is just it's like Force Staff. It's like you can make some changes, you can increase the cost, you can like make it less effective. Maybe the True Sight is less AOE, but doesn't matter. It's still an item that everyone, pretty much every game will be mandatory.
I would even compare it more to like Observer Wards. Like Observer Wards are OP for their cost, but it's just like they're part of the game. In that sense, Gem is
they're OP for both teams as well.
Yeah.
Some heroes are better Gem carriers than others, though.
Oh yeah.
Others though, and I would say Bad is right at the top of that list.
Bad and Puck are like the ultimate ones. That's why it's like you want heroes that can stay alive.
Nightstalker with Ags? Oh yeah. I miss Nightstalker. More just for the style of play. The hero itself isn't that exciting, but
good to cast some Titan games. Titan like to pick their Nightstalker every now and then.
Yeah, I saw that.
Him quite a bit.
It's just such mixed results with that hero.
Mixed results with that team. I love Titan, but like every now and then they look amazing, and but they actually did really well in WPC. They're probably going to advance to the playoffs. The top 6 of the 12 teams will advance to the next stage. I guess the playoffs.
So who's it looking like right now will be advancing besides Titan?
Titan, I think Newbie's doing really well. I think Newbie's actually overtaking Titan, and Newbie still. I think Newbie played all their games as well as Titan, and Newbie's currently #1, Titan #2. But there's teams who haven't played enough matches to really be up there. So
okay.
It should be like Vici Gaming, DK, IG.
So basically all the teams that people expected. Is there anyone like DT that's sneaking through, or no?
No, DT have not done that well in WPC.
So it's DK, IG, Newbie, Vici, Titan, and one other.
VG Gaming were going into the grand finals of the WVW yesterday. Apparently, they were on a 19-win, 1-loss streak in their last 20 games. Like,
well, aren't a lot of those games like from a long time ago?
Oh yeah, they hadn't played any tournaments in ages, but it was like just one of those crazy streaks that they were on. But
I think a lot of their wins were before Chinese New Year, even, and I don't know how many from that streak at this point, but
yeah.
Well,
I think there was mostly after Chinese New Year, because that was like post Sina Cup, because Sina Cup they lost. And it was mostly like WPC.
Yeah, right. They also had played a lot of the weaker teams in WPC as well. Like the way the WPC schedule worked out is your games like with DK Vici or DK IG or Vici IG Newbie in the mix as well. Like all those games are towards the end of the schedule.
So as it stands, it's pretty much all the teams you expect in the top 6.
Newbie's already qualified.
Yeah, guaranteed.
7-1-2.
Yeah, Newbie 7-1-2. Vici Gaming is 6-1-0. So Vici Gaming actually have the most impressive score. That was the one loss they had in that 19-1 streak, I guess. Titan went 6-1-4. They're kind of borderline. I mean, not so much borderline. They should be able to qualify. IG 3-1-1. DK 2-1-1.
IG by no means guaranteed to advance here, having played so few games.
I think they've versed mostly the
stronger teams.
I don't know.
Well, they're playing DK now, so
they're playing DK now. They're versing Dreamtime in the next series after this. So, and then you have your bottom teams: HGT, Arenda, DT Club, Tongfu, CIS. Orange haven't gone. Orange are a bit of a enigma.
How do they have an 0-2 record?
They lost to Titan. They played Titan online.
Oh, they played Titan online.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I was gonna say, like, they haven't been to China yet. Orange are so bad that they're losing games they're not even playing.
Yeah.
Poor guys. No, of course we love Orange. Yeah. Well, overall, I would say out of those teams, obviously DK are kind of the proverbial favorites, especially given last season, the reverse all-kill versus IG.
This was a well-timed pause.
Yeah. She's just like hovering. She's not jumping. It's like the leg should be moving here.
Yeah,
She's just floating over the rush. Volvo, please. Physics.
Yeah.
Physics questionable.
Game literally unplayable.
This is ruining my immersion, man.
I like the Mirana, the mount. It looks more like it looks dinosaur-like.
Mounts are OP in general. Like, would you rather have a new a new axe sword or a new mount for your Mirana? I mean,
or maybe the Lunar Dragon. I'm sure Ben would have known that. He's a cosmetics guru. Both teams ready to go though. That was such a weird Just suddenly plopped himself down.
What are you hiding, Roshan?
It's like a hovercraft or a what are those jets that can take off vertically?
Roshan has fallen to the
Helicopters?
No. Vertical takeoff and landing jets.
Okay, I'm not.
Harrier. It's a Harrier. Yeah, he's like a Harrier. Harrier.
No, a helicopter's not a jet, but like takes off vertically. That sounds like a helicopter.
No, they actually have planes that are designed because it's designed for really short runways, basically for
military type plane.
Yeah, for naval applications.
Gotcha.
But anyway, this is well off the topic of Dota 2. So DK again. I think this is their window right now. Refresher's online. Crystallis is up. Die BKB. Maybe they want to wait for that because he's 300 gold out on the Bane. But aside from his BKB, I see nothing for DK to wait for. Just push in the lanes and go for the high ground. This is the time to end the game. Mushi can get an Abyssal Blade, or sorry, a Basher as well if he wants.
Yeah. It's not going to be like that useful of an item for breaking the base, but
hey, it's like what else do you get?
Yeah,
I guess.
if you're going to be fighting, there's likely going to be a fight that breaks out too.
Yasha wouldn't be bad either, I guess. Just for some move speed.
Lua once again in a good spot. Lua's going to have a Ethereal Blade for this fight, so he didn't go for the BKB, went for the F Blade, which is going to be just fine. He needs to actually, TP's coming home, so DK not going to go for the push just yet. They've still got plenty of time with their Aegis. And also, like, they need to worry about this Ethereal Blade a bit.
That's the nice thing. With the Ethereal Blade and the Batrider, IG could potentially just keep on picking DK off before they group. Yeah. So DK have to be careful. They have to push the all the lanes out, but they also have to not get caught. And with the D wards that IG had from the gem, DK don't really have the best vision, so they're more vulnerable. And IG, they know what's coming. They know DK want to clump 5 man at a tower, take that tier 2 top, possibly go for high ground, and IG, they buy the smoke, they're probably looking to make a move.
Yeah, this BKB pickup for MMY is really important. This will actually allow him to get off Fiend Script in these fights, unless he's the one getting lassoed.
You can't afford to blow lasso on him, really, I feel.
I think you almost need to, though, because Fiend Script could just sort of win DK a fight. I mean, who else do you lasso, I guess, is the big question there. Like, Lincoln's on Burning.
Yeah, there's not many great targets. I'd say Lanham. I think Lanham's the ideal target on the Chen.
It's either Chen or the Bane, and
it's not these core heroes, that's for sure.
It's just you want to be able to kill someone instantly and make the fight 5v4, and that's going to be, you can't kill Burning, you can't kill Ice Kraken Shell. It's definitely one of the two supports you want to try and lasso, I think. Unless you can, I mean, Mushi's Aegis, so yeah.
Well, here comes some Shiver action. DK, 5 heroes grouped up, double Ravage online, they'll blink in out the Gush. And then they'll just start sieging high ground. The IG tried for the smoke gank, they went through their own woods, but they didn't find DK. And now they're going to have to fight at their own base. There's no split push here. This is rough.
Got to try and find a way into this one. And MMY.
Oh, nice shotgun. Almost popped the Aegis.
That would have been so useful. Unfortunately, now Mushi just has to fall back. 10 seconds later, he's full HP.
Yeah, freaking Slark, dude.
I don't think he had full agi too. He had
like
10 strength. He could have.
He's the only carry that doesn't. You know, it's like, oh yeah, get a heart. It's great for sieging. Well, Slark has a built-in heart for those purposes. Not the HP, but the regen. Anyway.
That's actually really important that Slark doesn't die there. This means their push can be sustained. Because if without the Aegis, you can actually blink Lasso Mushi. You can't really Dark Pack reaction time.
Yeah, he can potentially he can Dark Pack, but it's not guaranteed.
So they'll get the T3 tower.
YYF trying to bait out some spells here, but DK are patient. The tower gets denied, and they haven't given anything up. I think they lost a Chen creep. That's it.
IG are playing this slow, though. I like the way IG are dealing with this. They'll spam the shotgun, even just on the Slark. So they're using the shotgun because they're like, okay, we'll use this. It's going to be on cooldown for 30 seconds or whatever, but it's because we don't want a team fight right now. They just want to try and stall this.
Quick buyback check. Rubik and DK have it. Nobody else on IG does.
Oh, Bro getting arrowed here. This is actually problematic here. No, he gets shielded up. Okay, nice play from the Abaddon.
Oh, DK are dropping a bit low. They haven't actually broken the base yet, but the melee Rex begins to fall. They are focusing the melee Rex, though, over the range, it looks like. And, of course, the melee does regen, so...
I think IG are playing this really well. They're not getting too hasty. They're not jumping the gun here. DK are playing it... DK just doing your sure siege right now, and IG are not making the mistake a lot of teams would do, which is taking a bad fight.
I like this positioning from Faith, by the way, off to the right. Very far back. And maybe... Probably won't be able to still Ravage, but... won't get caught by it either.
YF goes for a Firefly over the trees. He was really looking for like a Blink Lasso on support. The problem is these supports for DK are just too well positioned. They're sitting far enough back, and they're on the right side. They're staying away from the trees right now.
Yeah, he can maybe go on a hero and like, well, maybe like this region, but he cannot be going up towards the hill. That is way too far. Shotgun comes in, waving forward, and then we'll replicate back out. Nicely played. They're using the replicate really well here.
DK don't have that many heals here. They've got a mech. They haven't got urn charges, I believe. Yeah, no urn charges left, so Burning just has to be sent home.
Flawless by IG. I mean, as good as you can get out of the enemy team having Refresher Aegis, not losing Rex there, not giving up kills is very impressive.
Okay, yeah, let's say, where's this gem? Chuan's got it. Yeah, they should de-ward this. They will do so. Yeah, so once again, no vision for DK up right now. Like, this Roshan ward is pretty much useless. This is not something that's going to help them push, get pickoffs. Age is going to expire. That was just amazingly played by IG, I would say.
Yeah, sure they lose the tier 3, sure the range racks take some chip damage, but like what else were they going to do? Morphling had to be there to drive DK back. If he's not shotgunning heroes, if he's off split pushing, then DK don't back off. They just keep on hitting the racks. The shotgun was what scared them away, so normally in that situation would be like, oh, the carry should be split pushing, but he was needed there to stop the push.
I think Ice should just be looking to use like a Blink Ravage on like a single hero. Like, you've got the Refresher. If you just Ravage and only either catch out the... I guess the problem is if Abaddon doesn't get hit, he may shield off the stun, but he's going to be really close to get that shield off. I think if you hit either Bat Rider or the DK and chain stun someone like DK and bring him down, it's well worth it. Or Bat Rider's the ideal target. If you can Blink Ravage Bat Rider, even if you only catch one other hero or no other heroes, it's okay. He's probably mostly scared of the Ravage getting stolen, though, which is where he's reluctant to do that.
It's a Rubik with no Blink Dagger, and he's I don't know. He shouldn't be overly concerned. Tide has Blink Refresher, and they have no Blink on Rubik, so it's actually a bit hard to steal.
Yeah, I think it's really hard to steal. Like, it being in range to get use the spell steal without a Blink Dagger is pretty
nearly impossible, actually.
Unless
Ravage
Ice doesn't use
Ravage radius 1025. Rubik's spell steal radius is similar, but you can't like run in until after the wave finishes traveling outwards, and without a blink, you can't just blink past where it is either. So I don't think he'll steal it unless Ice. Plus, there's 2 Ravages. You steal it once, he can just refresh that Ravage again and then kill you before you actually get to use it, if he's quick.
Yeah.
DK do lose Aegis, but they are farming up some key items. Sure, they don't have the best late game heroes, but they have the late game items right now. Scotty up on the Slark, Daedalus up on Burning. I would say DK have a solid 10-15 minutes where I think they're very strong. Past that point, IG, that's Morphling will probably, and DK can get to the point where they can just take the fights and man mode on these supports.
Yeah, the Scotty's a good item. It's just making Mushi as tanky as possible, getting raw HP, so when he gets shotguns, he's not going to get insta-killed by a shotgun. He can actually siege. It's all about sieging right now, and like you say, Slark does not need the Heart of Terras when he's got an inbuilt Heart of Terras.
Yeah. Blink Dagger is out on Faith, so maybe we do see some Ravage steals.
That's pretty much his one mission in these fights. It's still Ravage.
Like you could steal Grip or whatever, but it's just not the same.
He may need. Well, that's the other thing. Like, there's nothing good to cancel. BKB Grip is only going to be cancelled by a lasso, which is maybe where Batrider has to try and lasso the Bane, not the Chen. It's tricky for IG these fights, but hey, they basically they say, look, you can theory craft all you want about who you need to lasso in a fight, who you need to be trying to, what spell you're trying to steal, but IG just don't take the fights. They put themselves in a position where they can defend the base, stall the game to late game without even taking that fight. So I think that's really been the mission so far for IG.
Well, a rather slow-paced game, guys.
A very fast
2 to 12.
respawn. That's definitely in DK's favor. That is.
Yeah. To be honest, I don't think IG want to fight anyway.
No.
Even if the Roche respawn in 3 minutes.
It's not so much. It would have just given 3 minutes of farming and 3 minutes of peace to get that next item up. True. Not for the actual contesting Roshan. Like, Lua could have had another big item. This time around, it'll be a fast Roshan and maybe no chance. Lua may not even get another item up before the next push.
I'm personally not a big fan of the random factor with Roche.
I don't know.
Teams still play the same. They just scout Roche more, but they still camp around Roche.
I haven't heard any pros say, oh, I really like the Roshan random change. Like, initially, maybe with the patch I heard some, but I've only heard people who don't like it or who are kind of neutral.
The idea with the Roche change from, just overall, it seemed to be like, alright, if we make the Roche timer a bit random, you punish teams who are just camping for Roche. But the reality is teams are still going to camp for Roche, they just juggle it with farming.
Yeah.
So,
and they camp more often. They camp longer.
They camp longer, potentially, and it just, there's also, it creates more potential imbalance where a team can just, not even unbalance, just bad luck and ruin your game, basically.
I guess it's like the same with runes and stuff. It's like,
right, but Roche is so much bigger than any rune and even a bash or crit in most cases. Roche is always important, those things are sometimes important. I'm a hater.
Okay, you're not the only hater. There's a lot of players who don't like the random factor, but Mushi's got the cheese. Aegis going to be on the Mirana. Yeah, so DK with cheese and Aegis. This time around, they're coming top again, looking for these Raxes. I think IG are going to look to do similar, where it's like stall the push as much as possible. I think even to the point where they may just let these Raxes go just to try and stall the push, even just to play to the late game, because Like, I don't know. I don't think IG losing these reactors is the end of the world for them.
Yeah, I mean, they've got the. I still think they have the better late game carries by a decent amount, but they're not farming that well on the Dragon Knight. So,
No.
are they going to win by stalling? Is the thing. Like, Chen's almost got a Hex. And
IG
obviously the cores are farmed too.
IG do buybacks across the board, apart from Morphling, unfortunately. He's about 200 short, but chances are Morphling will get a kill, or at least get something if a fight breaks out that will give him that buyback money.
YYF's in position, but how can he go in? Like, Dai could just grip him instantly if he's quick.
Yeah, and he's looking for, like, the support. Once again, he can't go on Mushi with how tanky he is. He can't go on Burning with the Aegis.
Double damage rune online. They're just going to bring down the range rack. Shotgun's there,
Radiant's top
but it's not going to
barracks
do
has
enough.
fallen.
Just casual harass from Luo.
I think you're right. I mean, they can go in here, but they're going to lose the fight with the
Radiant
positioning DK
structures
has.
are
Bat's just
fortified.
unable to get lassos off on these support heroes because of the way they're positioned. So.
DK can just right-click racks, and if IG go in, then they counter-initiate with Ravage, so they can't fight. But what's to stop DK from just going mid right after this? Can IG actually give up racks here?
Eventually, IG have to make their stand. I just don't think it's going to be the top lane. Like, this is already exposed Raxes. Mid lane's going to be easy. It's much easier to get a lasso from the mid lane to flank the support.
Firefly, he's smoked up, he's looking to go in, here we go!
Ice getting locked in place. There is a BKB on the Morphling. With that, he's not getting ravaged. He will bring down Ice.
I know it's still. Oh no, he only got anchor smashed. Now the Fiend's grip by Dai. It's not enough, but Luo dropping pretty low. Mushi going ham in the fight. Nice Ethereal Blade keeping him alive for now. They've brought down two. There's no tide for this fight, and still DK winning. This is without even getting off the double ravage. They only got off a single one. Dai now stunned up.
Radiant's top barracks
Oh
has
man,
fallen.
DK win the fight anyway, even with only a single ravage. They are very far ahead. They didn't use cheese. They didn't lose Aegis. That's scary.
The single ravage was all they needed because Ice became the focus. Luo actually focused him down in the BKB to. I mean, he was the easiest kill because he has no way to protect himself from a BKB Morphling, and
that's why Tide's the ultimate
Dire's
counter
bottom
initiator.
tower
Yeah.
is under
Unless you have
attack.
Doom, he always will get off the Kraken Shell and nearly always will get off the Ravage.
DK still 3 minutes on Aegis. I've got the cheese up. I imagine next
Dire's
plan is go
middle
mid lane.
tower is under
Wasn't
attack.
it was kind of a bad fight because Batrider also had to use buyback because YWF really needs that BKB. It's gonna be hard to take these fights.
That's the thing. If they get triple BKB, I think they can just go on the Tide and force them to waste Ravage. But the support's also grouped up a little bit, and that actually hit quite a few of them.
I'm surprised they used the lasso on a Tide there. Like I think he just got frustrated and just impatient because he keeps on looking for the Bane. Like I think the Bane's the big #1 target. Maybe the Chen is a secondary one, but he can't find them.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like less frustration, more just he was out of time. They were about to kill the melee racks. It was down to like a third health, so well, either way, whatever the reasoning was, it just wasn't the ideal target.
Yep.
And credit to DK, even when they were sieging previously, their positioning was flawless, and now the Hex on Lamb. They are going for the second lane of Rex. They still have Aegis, they still have Cheese, and they have them for, I believe this is 2 minutes with the new clock. I've not actually been.
It's just the 12
testing
o'clock
much.
position has moved to the 3 o'clock position.
So yeah, there's 2 minutes to go on this Aegis.
Yeah.
It looks like.
And DK is smart. They're now pushing bottom lane. There's a good reason I think they're not pushing mid, and that just it's because it's so much harder for Batrider to get good initiations when you're pushing either top or bottom lane. From mid lane, there's so many more. You get that extra kind of direction you can come in from with the Firefly.
Yeah.
So they're pushing this bottom lane now, like after top, just because it makes it a lot trickier for Batrider to defend.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And the angle he comes from is almost always just the tree angle. So,
Yeah.
like the last fight we saw, he came from the mid side, but it's harder to get a good initiation.
He
on
could
that way.
smoke and like come from the north side, but again, like it's just a lot trickier.
Maybe could have gone a die right there. Now we'll go on the Tidehunter once again immediately. Ice will be absolutely fine. YYF not able to do much here. They grip up 430 during BKB. Ice being pursued up with a Morphblade, but he's got his double Ravage, and he could come back in momentarily.
Grip. Mushi's gripped up, but he's got the cheese anyways. He actually doesn't take too much
Double
damage
Ravage
from that.
coming. Double Ravage coming.
IG, they
Radiant's
don't actually
bottom
lose too
tower
much here,
is
but
under
unfortunately their
attack.
BKB's now on cooldown. The Morphling didn't kill anyone. Both BKBs on cooldown, and DK, well, they've still got a good minute or plus on this Aegis, I believe.
Yeah, they could just heal up and then go high ground with the double Ravage and with BKB's potential.
Aegis only got about 30 seconds, it looks like, so they've got to go fast.
Yeah, it's been about a minute and a half here, 30 seconds to go. This is the wave. This is the timing for DK. In terms of buyback situation, Morphling and DK have it. That's your two key heroes, but with no BKB, how much will their buybacks actually do? Surprised they haven't gone in yet. Here you go. Ravage connects on 3, barely clipping them. Double Ravage coming out. Still Faith is waiting to steal it. Can't quite find the opening to do so. And now blinking and is burning. The Hex on the low. Double Ravage. Blink out by Faith, but he still gets clipped by it. And in the end, burning goes ham. They've gotten a double kill on him. They're farming them towards the well. They will lose Mushi here. Doesn't manage to pop the cheese in time. He'll go down. Burning Aegis and expires. He gets the ultra kill, but they lose both carries. They haven't taken racks. That was not the best for DK.
That was so unfortunate for Burning. His Aegis expires 2 seconds before he dies. And now there's Morphling maybe able to clean up. He's chasing the Bane as well as the Chen. They leave Tidehunter who's... Oh, no, Tide cancels his TP. He's going to keep focusing down the racks as BKB used by MMY. Lua wants to chase. He's going to wait for him in 2 seconds.
There's a sleep TP here. Oh, there's Lincoln
out.
Radiant's
MMY
middle
gets out of
tower
there,
is
so...
under attack.
They
Tide's
pop
just
back.
getting wrecked.
Well, Ice can't really damage building. He has no TP scroll. He's toast. He could... Well, maybe not. Shotgun. The Kraken shell. He shouldn't have used the Adaptive Strike quite so quickly, I think, because it actually procced the Kraken shell, but... Well, Luo now on the chase here. He's got another
Radiant's
Adaptive Strike
middle
pulling out.
tower
Ice
is
can
under
blink
attack.
out.
Blink, yeah.
Yeah, he can be sent back as well. So in the... Oh, what?
He blinks forward.
Oh, he's already been sent back.
Yeah.
So they bought back on DK. They bought
Radiant's
back on
bottom
Morphling.
barracks are under attack.
Very costly for Rattlesnake, even though they do defend the racks. But about the best or Rattlesnake, Jesus, I mean IG. Freaking Volvo, please.
Yeah, man. They created more problems than they fixed, I think, with the nickname. I can't even use dumb nicknames too. Like, my nickname's fixed now as well.
Wait, does it apply to... It only applies to lobbies, right? Not to
private
pubs.
games.
Okay.
Yeah, I assume.
So you can still smurf it up in
Yeah,
pubs.
yeah. I think the idea
Show your
is
love for Katy Perry.
Yeah, exactly. I can't just show my love for Katy Perry in private games anymore, though.
The other issue for IG is still not having BKB on the bat. That is really important.
Yeah, he had to buy back. Was that even 2 fights in a row? Or
No, he had used it in the previous fight,
Okay.
but he just hasn't had he hasn't had anywhere to farm for a while.
He died that fight, died multiple fights in a row. He's been in all 5 of their kills, but that's like you've only had 5 kills in 45 minutes, so you'd expect Batrider to be in most of those.
By the way, Mushi has not used a drum charge in 45 minutes. How is that possible?
That's like...
Or did he buy a new set?
No,
I don't think he's used
Mushi
them.
thing. That's definitely a Mushi thing. Doesn't like... He's not the most efficient player, I guess. He's incredibly mechanically skilled, but his efficiency with like tread switching, clicking drums... I'm guessing he's not used to drum charge the entire game. I doubt
he doesn't build drums very often, to be honest. We haven't seen him playing many heroes like Slark lately. There they go. Backstab from IG. They know if DK group up at the high ground, they're toast. They'll lose the racks at that point.
This is a replicate, maybe baiting things out of it here. Mushi gonna go... When it's this far out, you kind of know. Like, especially when he's not blinking. You run into Slark there, you blink away.
Yeah, that's a good point. Blink carrier is very obvious when they're illusions. If you don't just run into them like up a cliff. They just... I don't think they're getting enough farm, honestly, on IG.
No.
I mean, DK sitting at 13k net worth. He's completed a Halberd, now works towards an Assault Cuirass. But just go look at Mushi. Mushi and Burning. They're sitting on a Daedalus, Butterfly on both of them. And IG, they're not going to farm an MKB anytime soon, so... No Hex either.
Tide now gets a Shiva's Guard, so you can get 2 Shivas off in a fight as well.
Double Shivas, double Ravage. And the BKBs are becoming lower cooldown. So there's like that period where you get the BKBs and in the mid game, and Tide could be potentially not very effective, but now he'll get even stronger.
Still 8 seconds on both. DK get themselves another Aegis. This is double cheese, I believe. Tide with 1 and
Mushi.
Yeah, Mushi with the other. So double cheeses, Aegis. I think this is going to be the GG push. If this fails, DK will have to mess up this fight really bad for it to fail.
I almost want to say Mushi and Burning could just start diving people pretty aggressively if they want to. They're very tanky, especially on the Slark, and
I agree.
They do a lot of damage too.
They both got butterflies now to go with everything. So
Ice is invis, but there is a gem of YYF.
They should be expecting this one. Luo could buy... he's got buyback for this fight. No, he has buybacks on cooldown, so... he may as well just buy his Mantis Star when he can. Maybe wait for his... Actually, buyback coming off cooldown in a minute and a half, so he may save some of that money, but...
It's just like he needs more items, so I don't even know if saving for buyback matters anymore.
It's the Mirana and who has the buyback. Rubik has a buyback for IG, but we'll see if he can steal a Ravage here. He needs to get his first one of the game, and they wouldn't stand a chance.
Yeah, there's 8-9 lives potentially. Mushi working on the range tracks. They'll force out Glyph. That's all DK care about. Now they back off, and they'll wait for round 2.
Yeah. They deward the high ground ward. Small victories for IG. If DK had that, this becomes so much even easier to push. But why do we have to use Firefly as well? It's actually Pretty important because this next high ground attempt is going to be when Firefly's on cooldown, so it's going to be really hard for YYF
Radiant's
to get
middle
any
tower
sort of a
is
good
under
blink
attack.
initiation.
It is. Sentry Ward deployed, Mushi. Now they pop the Lincolns here on the Sark, and he'll just work on the rain tracks here. It's going to fall soon. Top lane's pushing in. Mid lane's pushing in. DK pressuring IG from all sides.
YYF walks into an arrow here. The shield nowhere nearby. Ice, he misses the... Oh, doesn't get a blink. He just straight up ravages. Has a second one. Ferrari's BKB. So is Lua. Lua going to go down at the side of the fight. The second ravage comes through. Rubik unable to steal anything. He's not going to get a ravage. That's for sure. He doesn't even get a spell out of this one. And Lua going to GG out. Mushi helping clean up with a triple kill here. Well, doesn't need to use a drum... Oh, he used a drum charge LD. For the GG push, he saved them all. There we go, Mushi.
Celebratory bongos come out from Mushi.
I know. Fight was over. Let's pull out the drums.
Boom, boom, boom.
DK take game 1. All right.
Well,
It was. I like that game. Like it was a kind of slow-paced game, but it was like you could see
very deliberate game.
both teams playing very good Dota. Like they're smart. Like even though IG fell behind and never managed to do anything, they played as well as they could considering the position they were in. Just DK are kind of too good and didn't give them any openings to work with. Like I think if you were against another team who played a bit more sloppy, made a few mistakes here, that's where IG actually get back into that game.
Yeah, but DK very deliberate game. IG, they just didn't have the best lineup to punish 5-man. DK going for early BKB is not a great split pusher. Morphling is decent, but I mean Morphling's not even that great of a split pusher. End of the day, he doesn't instantly clear out waves. He doesn't kill buildings that quickly until he gets a lot of farm. And I just like the way DK itemized. They got a lot of good 5-man items early on, like the drums, the early mech, Blink Dagger on the Tide, and they just executed the strategy well. It's not just drafting a strategy, it's being able to execute it, and they knew exactly what to do.
The Tide with the Blink timing was like the key factor from it. Just really, at that point, IG couldn't do anything. They lost so many fights to Blink Rabbit.
And that's why you don't go Phase Boots Oblivion Staff on Tide Hunter.
Well,
I'm not kidding. Like,
no,
he went for it, too.
I fully agree. That's Ice MVP for the game. No surprises there. He got such a fast blink in that offlane, and that's where you got to think like IG needed to actually win that. If they just win the safe lane, like they didn't actually they had a dual lane down there, but they didn't win the lane. Abaddon was up top. I mean, he helped the Batrider a little bit, but end of the day, it didn't really do enough for them. So
yeah.
But
and he was patient with Ravage. Like, I think that's the biggest mistake you can make as a Tide against Rubik is just forcing it. They had tanky carries. He didn't have to go in too early, and I don't think he messed up a Ravage that game. Didn't miss any Ravages, and also used them at the right times.
Okay.
And made sure to catch the Rubik as well.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break, guys. When we come back, we've got Game 2 of DK versus IG. We'll see if IG can bounce back, get that 1-1 draw out of the series, or if it's going to be DK taking the 2-0. He's LD. We're David and David. Don't go anywhere.